everyone! Welcome to My Opinions Are Trash. Today we are ranking the main Degrassi characters based on Season 1 only. The thing about the show is that there are so many characters and everyone goes through so much development that's hard for me to have consistent opinions, so I'm just going to rank them by season. Starting from the bottom, we have Paige. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Paige, but let's be honest, Season 1 was not her best. Sure, she had some iconic moments, but she wasn't really a good friend to anyone. I think her worst moment was whenever she tricked Terry into drinking to a point where she embarrassed herself. Or whenever she threw Hazel under the bus. When I first started watching the show, I hated her after that. As much as I love her otherwise, Season 1 Paige was not the best. Next we have Ashley Kerwin. Now, historically, I have been an Ashley apologist, and I didn't understand why everyone hated her so much. However, after rewatching the series, it's pretty clear that she's a terrible person. She acts like she's the only one who ever has problems, and like hers are more important than anyone else's. We see her have this attitude when she interacts with Toby and Terry. She is terrible to her own father and to Paige whenever she tries to help. She doesn't like anyone else having the spotlight but her. Now, I do understand from an artist's perspective why she was so protective over her song in the talent show. However, if she really wanted it to be a duet, she should have listened to Terry without brushing her off. Or she should have just gone solo to begin with. Even without all that, she is a terrible girlfriend to Jimmy and doesn't even bother to acknowledge the fact that he's lonely. And instead, she tries to break up with him on his birthday. And even after all that, she still leads him on, only to publicly humiliate him at that party. Ashley Kerwin is trash. Y'all have finally convinced me. For C tier, we have Emma. Season 1 Emma was honestly very annoying to me. She believes she knows better than anyone else, she is controlling to Manny, she started a rumor about Liberty, and she refuses to ever listen to any of her friends when they try to help her. One thing about Emma that separates her from Ashley is that she actually acknowledges when she's in the wrong, and she tries to fix it from there. Ashley just falls into self-pity. Next we have Spinner. He gets a lot of hate in his early seasons, but in the first one, he really wasn't that bad. He had moments where I thought he was funny. He was known for causing trouble for people, but there were other characters who did far worse. He wasn't the best in this season, but it also wasn't his worst. For B tier, we have JT. JT is one of the funniest, most loved characters in the show, and he's had so many good moments. Unfortunately, he wasn't developed as much this season, which puts him lower on the tier. Next, we have Manny. Once again, she will always be one of my favorites. However, if we're going by Season 1 alone, she doesn't really get as much development aside from being Emma's sidekick. I love seeing her grow later in the series, but if we're going by the first season alone, she really deserved a lot better than what she got. She's mostly just here in the first season to pull Emma out of her own messes. For A, we have Jimmy. He has been one of the most tragic characters all around, and even in Season 1, I feel sorry for him. He is lonely, his parents don't really give him much attention, and Ashley is a terrible girlfriend even though he tries his best to be good to her. The only downside of Jimmy this season is how he treated Sean. Next we have Toby, who is one of the most underrated characters in the whole series. We see this season how he really just tries his best to help everyone. He's the reason they were able to save Emma in the first episode. He tries really hard to help Ashley, even though she definitely doesn't deserve it. He also cares about Jimmy, and he tries to help their relationship. This character does not get near the amount of appreciation he deserves. Next we have the icon herself, Liberty. She's consistently been one of my favorites, and she establishes who she is from the beginning. Despite how poorly everyone treats her, she is very quick to stand up for herself, and she has a strong idea of what she wants. Everyone makes fun of her, but that doesn't stop her at all, and she only gets better from here. Starting with S, we have Terry. This poor girl does not deserve any of the stuff she has put through, from the characters, the writers, none of it. But we're just talking about Season 1 for now. Terry is one of the most genuinely kind-hearted people on the show. She's always trying to help Ashley, even though she's low-key a bad friend to her. She struggles really hard with self-confidence, even though she's gorgeous. Paige and Ashley both treated her poorly this season, as Paige tricked her into drinking, which messed up the things she had going on with Spinner. And Ashley constantly dismissed her. Even after all that, she was still a great friend to both of them, even when Ashley made an ass of herself at that party. She's consistently one of my favorite characters, and she just deserves so much better. Sean is my favorite for season 1. I always have a soft spot for the characters who have a bad reputation, but we see that they actually have a good heart. We see that here. We know Sean got himself in a lot of trouble and had to repeat the same grade, but he's trying really hard to help himself. And it's sweet how much he genuinely cares about Emma. And he tries to support her, and I just really wanted him to find happiness. Thanks for watching! My season 2 list will be released shortly.